Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Al with the Comic Hall Crew, and I have not done one of these in quite some time. I am doing a haul video. About 2 weeks ago, Matt, Xavier, and Larry, we were actually comic book diving. For those who have been viewers and subscribers of the channel for a while, we had the opportunity to receive some free comic books around 2020. Well, actually, it's 2019. It was right before the pandemic, and I might be wrong on the date. It might have been 2019. But a gentleman here in our hometown was gracious enough to allow us to come to his house. He was actually wanting to get rid of a lot of comic books, and so we were able to go through his comic books, and I beefed up my collection quite a bit, and actually picked up some books that I did not really wasn't really checking at the time. A lot of Green Lantern, some other DC stuff, some miniseries or whatnot. So he actually gave Matt a call again a couple months ago. So we went over to his house, like I said, around 2 weeks ago from the recording of this video, and we actually got some books. So I got a good bit of books, some ROM, Justice League. But today I'm actually going to go through some of the Avengers back issues that I picked up. So I wasn't going to do a haul video on everything. That video would be roughly over an hour long. So I just narrowed it down to Avengers. So most of the Avengers books that I picked up, very good shape. And they were really key, not really, well, some of them are key books, but some are actually holes that I'm trying to fill. Most people know that I'm attempting to complete the full X-Men run, Volume 1, but I decided to actually collect the Avengers Volume 1 from issues 100 to 400. So I got a ways to get there, but I'm getting there. And the gentleman by the name of Jeff, he helped out considerably with a lot of the books that I picked up a couple weeks ago. So I'm just going to start off by going from the first book. Everything is in numerical order. This is Avengers 160. This is a classic George Perez cover. The Grim Reaper, Vision, Wonder Man, Scarlet Witch, they're on the cover. But again, this is a classic George Perez cover. May he rest in peace. Absolutely free. So yeah, got that one. Picked up this book, Avengers 176. I didn't know until I actually keyed this into the CLZ app that this was a John Romita Jr. cover. I don't really care about his artwork nowadays. Seems like he's on a lot of rush projects trying to just get art out, and I'm not going to say too much about that, but I like this cover. This was a dope cover, and this was part of the Korvac saga, Michael Korvac, which I think at some point in time he's probably going to show up in the MCU, but you didn't hear that from me. Next is Avengers 177. I think this is also a George Perez cover. George Perez, he did some awesome covers for both Marvel and DC. Hank Pym is working on Hawkeye. I'm assuming this is part of the Korvac saga as well. So got that one. Avengers 189. I want to say this is also a classic George Perez. I'm not totally sure, but it is a dope cover. Hawkeye is prevalent on the cover with Thor, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Henry Peter Gowrick at the bottom left-hand corner, with Falcon and Captain America down at the bottom right-hand corner. So I got this one there as well. Excuse me. I'm recording this late night. So Avengers 191, Fell by the Grey Gargoyle. I don't know if it's just me, but even though I'm an X-Men fan, to me it seems like the Avengers had the most animated during this time frame, during like the mid to late 70s to like the mid 70s to like the early 80s. They had the most animated, non-animated covers, if that makes sense. There's a lot going on these covers. Again, I'm not sure if this is George Perez as well, but it is a dope cover. And I think one of the reasons why I started collecting the Avengers books was because a lot of the covers from the 70s and 80s were just epic covers. It told a story without telling a story. You had to open up the book to find out exactly what was happening. So that's one of my main reasons for starting that. Plus, they had a lot of good stories as well during that time frame. You know, the Vision, Wonder Man's issue, the Kree Skrull War, as well as the Korvac saga, amongst other stories. So, Avengers 198. This was Red Ronin. They actually spelled his name wrong on the cover. It's Ronin, but Red Ronin was a member of the Shogun Warriors, which the Shogun Warriors in the late 70s had their own Marvel title as well. I am actually short one issue of completing that run. Shogun Warriors, of course, was based on a toy line that came out of Japan, but I think Mattel licensed it over here in America. So as you see the Avengers fighting Red Ronin of the Shogun Warriors, don't know how this actually is going to end, but I will eventually get to reading this book someday, as well as the other ones. Avengers 199. We got some stuff going on the cover. I think the Avengers are inside Red Ronin, as you can see right there on the left. They spelled his name correctly. I don't know if that book 198 is actually worth any more than what it is because of the misspelling of the name. You know how it goes with comic books nowadays, as far as, you know, double covers and misprints and all that kind of stuff. It may be, it may not, I don't know. I don't even know if they actually reprinted that book with the correct name, but I have a copy. All right, Avengers 201, Stand Back Avengers. This is where Jarvis takes over. Don't know what Jarvis plans on doing with that Hoover vacuum, but everybody looks like they're gonna let them handle their lightweight. So this looks like it might be one of those fun issues where, you know, everything is pretty much like died down in the Avengers mansion and everybody's chilling and stuff. But, you know, I'll find out eventually. Avengers 203. Got Beast and Simon Williams, aka Wonder Man, on the cover fighting crawlers. So, you know, they're doing their thing. Avengers 203. Don't know who the artist is, but again, a lot of these Avengers books, they were telling stories on the cover without being, you know, without telling the story. They were animated without being animated, what I said earlier. Avengers 204. I know nothing about Yellow Claw, but apparently the Avengers are dealing with them. Again, another dope cover with a whole bunch of stuff going on. I want to say this might be George Perez. I mean, if it's not, somebody in the comment section correct me. But George Perez had a knack of actually creating covers with a whole bunch of chaos, you know, organized confusion and whatnot. So, dope cover nonetheless. Avengers 206. Pyron the Thermal Man. Don't know anything about this cat, but he's putting it to Simon Williams and Tony Stark's. And somebody in the back has Captain America shields. It might be Steve Rogers, I don't know. But they are in a bit of a calamity on this cover. So Avengers 219. Got Moondragon on the cover. Again, animated without being animated cover. All kinds of stuff. It seems like the majority of the Avengers comic books back in the day, they were just, it was all out war, every issue on the cover. And again, that was an appealing selling point for me to start collecting the Avengers comic books. So pop up one more and then I'm gonna clean this off. Avengers 220. War Against the Gods. Got Thor going on up there. Captain America, Wasp, Iron Man. Purple guy right here is actually Drax. So Drax has been through a few aesthetic changes. For those that don't know, that's Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy fame. So again, a whole bunch of stuff going on. Thor putting it to him. All right, got a few more to show you all. Here we have Avengers 224. Hank Pym is Yellow Jacket. Apparently, that could be Janet Van Dyne, which again it is. Actually is. Who is the new man in Wasp's life? The most offbeat Avengers tale ever. You know, back in the day, and I do have those books. The Avengers was somewhat controversial back in the day. They had a lot of crazy stuff going on. Carol Danvers got impregnated by her son from the future, which is insane. Henry Pym was abusive towards Janet Van Dyne and ended up abusing her in the comic book, which went through the Comics Code Authority, which today would probably be scoffed at and ridiculed. But I mean, these kind of things happen, you know, so you're looking at a situation where, you know, things aren't like they used to be. They could talk about stuff like that and people, it would basically just try to bring awareness. But you know, this kind of stuff nowadays, I guess it's not supposed to happen in comic books, but you know, it is what it is. Avengers 225. Black Knight. We got a floating heads cover here. So I'm assuming the Black Knight returned to the Avengers. I know he was a member earlier on in the series, but apparently he's either returning or maybe he's joining. I have no clue. It's dope cover though. I like it. Avengers 226. Black Knight's on the scene. Looks like a fire demon. Don't think that's Surtur. But again, the cover, they're going through some things, man. Like they really are. You got Black Knight, Captain America, and Hawkeye fighting the horned bull devil man. Avengers 229. The Evil of Egghead. So again, I mean, just look like these covers are just awesome. They really, I mean, I guess they're the whole with the editorial staff. They was like, whenever y'all do covers, just make these covers so epic that when people pick the book up off the comic rack or the newsstand, that they want to pick up this book to see what's going on the inside. That's the only thing I can say, because some of these books, the covers are just extremely dope to me. Avengers 230. Yellow Jacket no more. So what happened to Hank Pym, I have no clue. But whatever happened to him, he is no more according to this particular book. So one day I'll get a chance to find out. Avengers 231. This could easily be a play off of Secret Wars 4, I want to say. I'm not totally sure which one it is, but you got She-Hulk down there holding up a tree. It could be homage to her cousin holding up that mountain, which was incredibly, like, even back then, like the Hulk was OP back then, because I want to say that mountain that the villains threw on the heroes, I think he said something about 1 billion tons or 100 million tons or something. And the Hulk was actually a smart Hulk then. He wasn't Savage Hulk. And he was holding that sucker up. So I don't know if that's an homage to that, but She-Hulk is holding it down with Captain Marvel, the third Captain Marvel, and Thor trying to help her out. So got a few more books. Avengers 234. Seasons of the Witch. Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch. We see Bova, her dad, Cyclops, back there in the back with the OG costume, her brother. Well, I don't know if they're siblings again, but Quicksilver, and then her own again, off again, Vision. So it's a nice little cover. She looks kind of crazy there too. So Avengers 237. Spider-Man is on the scene with Rhino, and I don't know who that is. The top right hand corner that's got Monica Rambeau in a pinch, but you got Star Fox, She-Hulk, Wasp, Electro, Captain America. And somebody above electrodes, electricity. I don't know who that is, but Pandemonium at Project Pegasus, what the book says. All right, Avengers 251. I do not know who this is behind Vision. It could. Ooh, you know what? I just noticed that maybe that's a human form of Vision. I don't know, but I just noticed that the Android version of Vision was not whole, so I don't know. Could be one of those inner demon stories where he's tussling with a whole bunch of stuff in his brain. All right, Avengers 235. A lot of stuff going on with this one. Captain America seems to be in just about nearly all these covers. And I don't know what's happening up there, boy, but that shield ain't that proficient with the shield. But needless to say, you know, he's in a bit of a conundrum with the wizard handling things. So She-Hulk and Scarlet Witch are in the slump too. All right, Avengers 271. I guess Janet Van Dyne took over. Well, no, that's a new Yellow Jacket, I guess. So I guess sometime between the last book and this book, there was a new Yellow Jacket. So I don't know if I got it. I might have it. I'll need to check. Great Gargoyle is fighting the Avengers once again. Paladin. I've seen Paladin in a Marvel team up. So that's one of those characters that Marvel hasn't really used. But then again, they have so many different characters, you know, we might see them one day. Classic cover. I think this is one of those 30th anniversary covers that they came out with. No, 25th anniversary is right up there in the top left-hand corner. So, yeah, they did this for, I think, all the books that they had at the time that was actually in print. I know I have the New Mutants, X-Men, or Uncanny, and I got a couple more, but they did it for everything. I think they did one for Alf, the Ewoks, and some of them are actually worth a little money. But this is Avengers 273, and there's a specific name for this book. I don't know what they call it, but aside from the anniversary edition. All right, Avengers 274. Hercules is in a bad way, going up against the Wrecking Crew. I don't know who that is above him. Maybe that's Evil Goliath. I don't know. And I think that might be Dr. Hyde with that big piece of machinery in his hand. But whatever the case is, he about to get dealt with. I think Tiger Shark is right there too. All right. Now to a few more books. Avengers 275. We got the Doberman and Titania against Ant-Man and the Wasp. And let's see here, Titania has held her own against the She-Hulk. Doberman's gone. Oh, okay. So I guess they were trying to big them up. As if to say Ant-Man and Wasp can handle either one of them. I will say Crusher Creel, aka the Doberman, is one of the most underrated villains in the Marvel Universe, just based on his powers alone. I have his first appearance, and I love him. He's one of my favorite non-mutant villains in the Marvel Universe. So I do hope we get a more accurate representation of him in the future in the MCU. Lastly, this is my last book, Avengers 276. So we got Thor, his beard, Black Knight, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. I want to say that might be Druid in the back. I'm not totally sure. But according to the caption, Masters of Evil Beware. I think they're about to go wreck shop and do it expeditiously. So, but anyway, that is it for me, for my hauls that I'm going to post for right now. I'm still going through some of the books, but I've cataloged the majority of them. But I figured an Avengers back issue haul, video would be a good video to post on the channel. So if you like this video, please like it. Share the video if you have fans, friends, or family members that are huge Avengers fans and they need an idea of what books they would like, just share this video. Subscribe if you haven't, and just tell a friend about the Comic Hall Crew. We are on Instagram. We're not on Facebook. Our IG handle is Comic Hall Crew, and we try to post regularly on that particular IG page. We do have a show, if I'm not mistaken, this Saturday, and unless the topic changes, we're going to be talking about our favorite fighting games. So we're going to try to rank our favorite fighting games amongst the panel. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to try. We're going to also talk about the latest developments in the comic book world, the comic book sphere, and we're also going to show some hauls. I actually went to a convention or comic book show down in Columbus, Georgia on Sunday, and I will have, if I don't do another haul video, I'll be showing those books on the show this Saturday. So, but that's it for me. Again, my name is Al with the Comic Hall Crew, IG DustyBrickBrown. Again, please like, share, subscribe, and support the channel as best as you can, in whatever way you can. We do appreciate your viewership, and we do appreciate you being who you are. So with that being said, I am out, and I will catch you all later. Peace.